Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette. And before I start my July readings, I just want to say, it'll take me about 5 minutes, a few words about dimensions and about the work we do as readers, how it's done, how it's actually done. I've been hearing a lot of people in YouTube throwing around the word Akashic Records and Akashic Records readings, the Tree of Life, and so on. It seems that these are the latest watchwords of the day. But to be able to address a wide audience, because YouTube indeed does address a wide audience, it may be helpful to dispel a lot of the confusion, to clarify a lot of things by explaining where we actually get our information and how. So to do that, I'm going to take a multidimensional perspective. Many spiritual traditions and teachers talk about 10 different dimensions of existence. The equations in physics that are put forth by this theory called superstring theory talks about 10 dimensions of existence. So what is that? Superstring theory is an attempt to explain all of the particles and fundamental forces of nature in one only theory by modeling them as vibrations of tiny supersymmetric strings, tiny energy strings. You hear us often mention when we say our vibrational rate. This is what we refer to. And in the soul work and the soul therapy I do, I've personally always considered there to be 10 dimensions of existence for the soul, with an added to the 11th and the 12th dimension existences reserved to other supernatural beings, or we can call them spirits, we can call them celestial beings, we can call them divine messengers or angels and archangels. And especially recently, could be 10 years, but recently, specifically 2-3 last years, the dimensional levels of our being that we're able to access personally from this dimension, this third dimension, because I'm speaking to you from the third dimensional incarnation with my flesh and blood and bones, we've increased our ability greatly over this past few years of how we access higher regions. We're more and more able to conceive of the choices that we make and the choices that express who we are at the soul level. We're more and more aware of our individuality, that in theory, at least, we also get to be exactly who we are in theory, rather than having to follow some, society norm or convention or cultural norm. But this is not true, of course, for all parts of the world, all parts of the planet, because many people, however, though, are opening up to living by their own unique rules today. And as our thoughts align to who we are at soul level, we can receive then more information and guidance from upper dimensional aspects of our beings at the level of mind. So each of us, however, has an aspect at every single dimensional level. Each of us not only has a third dimensional person, but we have also a fourth and a fifth dimensional person. We're fourth and fifth dimensional beings. We also have an aspect that is sixth dimensional, seventh dimensional, and so on. But while we may not exactly be actively working within these planes, we already exist there. Think of the various dimensions as a cake, a layer cake. They're all one, it's a cake, and they're not separate from one another. They're all in one cake, and all the dimensions are layered one on top of another, and they exist at the same time, exist simultaneously. And every dimension affects another dimensions. Things that happen in one dimension affects other dimensions. And this is why spiritual evolution takes place through our experiences in this third dimension. But, and this is the trick, this density, this third dimension is very dense. Its physical experience is very dense. It makes it the dimension that most affects every other dimensional aspect of our existence. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to affect physical matter. Far more greater energy than it takes to think, for example. Our choices here in this third dimension affect our soul's vibration rate by either aligning to our divine self-expression or not. And the denser the dimension, the more profoundly all other dimensions are affected. And while at a less dense dimension, such as the fifth dimension, where we do clearing work, where I clear work for people, definitely has an effect on a denser dimension as a fourth or third, it takes more time for this effect to take place, and it is more subtle, depending on how self-aware, and this is the proviso, depending on how self-aware we are at these upper dimensional levels of existence. But it's important to think of the different dimensions as different perspective of our being. Dimensions are different from each other, but at a higher, I just want to mention that a higher dimension is not superior to the lower dimensions. They simply have different energetic qualities. And as a soul therapist, I do clearing at the fifth dimensional level in order to affect a person's entire being. And the Akashic records, that word thrown around so much, those are located also at the fifth dimension. The soul vibration rate of a person indicates to us what dimension we are primarily receiving guidance and information from, what dimensional aspect we would identify with as our higher self, while we talk about higher and lower vibration rates. That's what it refers to. So if we live our divine self-expression, we actually have the opportunity to embody our higher dimensional aspects within this human experience. This makes it possible then to access our records, Akashic records, whatever you want to call them, or rather, information of your soul's blueprint, your soul's history. And since all psychics, like myself, can really tap into great stores of energetic information, you can understand that it's really fundamental for you to work with someone you can trust. It's all about love as well, and how they can give love. And as we evolve further, you will begin to be fascinated as your vibrational rate becomes higher. You'll become fascinated with relationships and how our interdependence as humans affects our spiritual evolution. And you'll feel a natural desire to engage with others and serve others through the purpose that you have here. And at the same time, you'll want to engage with whole groups rather than individuals, hence the idea of giving seminars. And your method of manifestation will also change as you evolve. At first, we can manifest or channel information that moves us into action. Basically, we receive guidance on what to do in order to create the outcome that we want. And this is fifth dimensional vibration rate. And as we evolve in time, we begin to draw experiences to ourselves by shifting our states of being, usually through action. And that occurs at the upper fifth dimensional and the lower sixth dimensional rate. And eventually we manifest what we want by manifesting the relationships with others that our soul wants to experience, or by manifesting the relationship we have with ourselves. And this occurs at upper sixth dimension and seventh dimension vibration rate. I hope that these 5-6 minutes have made it a bit clearer for you, because once you evolve spiritually, and we help you do that, you yourself can benefit from tapping into different dimensions, thus receiving directly the guidance you want. That spirit guide team reading that I mentioned on my website, that's what it's all about, becoming in tune to your higher self. Now off to the July readings. Hi, this is Christelle Martinette, and this is for you, Aquarius, a reading for the month of July. Now, I have this deck, which is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot. Then I have the Angel Tarot and the Vida Sibila Oracle deck, along with my runes to crown the reading. Let's take a look at what is in store for you for the month of July. Brewing, something's brewing. Yes, something is brewing, all right. Something's brewing, and your mind has been working overtime, you know, as much as you have been thinking, that is as much as you have been creating, because for you it seems that the month of July is very propitious for the creation at a mental level. Now, that doesn't mean to say that you're not going to be creating or producing or making a product of some sort, or having a project come and see the light. I'm looking at my candle. I'm looking at these candles and they're going crazy because I have a fan on behind it, and I'm just hoping my poor warlock is not going to be hurt. And the candles, indeed, I'm looking at them, but what I'm seeing here is the smoke of the thoughts that you have. In this sense, you know how when you put incense into, say, this is not for incense, but let's say that it was for incense, and let's say that we put incense here, and the smoke, instead of burning the incense, it would be burned from down here, and all of the smoke that comes up is the measure of your thoughts and how they dance and play with other thoughts that you have concerning other people. And it just seems that the month of July is a moment when you're exchanging thoughts, but you're making other people's thoughts yours. You're taking a bit of this, a bit of that, you're bringing it together, you're rearranging, and you're very, very, very busy in terms of what you are about to set free. And you're taking a lot of time with that. And you're more than the time, actual time, you're taking a lot of care with that. You're very careful procedure. There's a lot of passion that you're putting into it. This is clear. There's a lot of passion, but also you are very grounded. You know, there's nothing, I have to say, of all the signs, and I see every time I see something and I say, of all the signs you are, it seems that you are one of the most grounded. Let's put it that way. As I start to mix this other deck, I do want to say another couple of things. All right. These were too many cards to say that they wanted to come out. I want to say another thing as well, because you have the gift this month of July of being both part and parcel of the process, and you're working on it, but also you're removed from it, and you can see and control what you're doing. And it's interesting that you're dividing your attention span. But you are on the money. I mean, I'll use that expression. You are very much concentrated. It's as if July for you is going to be a month so ingenious, so industrious, that because you know that perhaps August, I don't know, but I'm getting the impression that this month, even more so than August and September, is a make or break month for you. Your face is on the line, your name is on the line, and you for some reason, you really have to give it all, your all. There's harmony as well. I see harmony. I see harmony, but I see coveting, keeping something for yourself, keeping it in. It's almost as if it were a secret, because if you told someone, you know, it would spoil, not only spoil, it's not a surprise. What you're spoiling is, it's a scheme. It's a strategy, a strategic move, whereby what you're doing has to be kept close to your vest. Now let's see the cards, the Angel Tarot, and see what they have to say. I'm going to take... Okay, the focus card up here is a very harmonious card. You're very grounded. You are part of your environment, and you are one of the animals that's walking the streets. You have an ear for those animals. You have, again, I think it was, I don't remember, another sign where I was talking about animals. You have a gift for being in the animal world. Here too, I'm seeing that there's sort of an ear for listening and talking to animals, and you get your messages through animal noises, it seems. And what I'm having here in the entrance card, as if, you know, you're giving way to something, that incense that I was talking about and burning. There is here a King of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands. King of Pentacles and Nine of Wands. And the King of Pentacles and Nine of Wands here are defining ever more the rooted nature of your movement this month of July. And not only that, it's a month where you're going to, again, covet. You know, I'm seeing this coveting. It's as if it's your ideas, your plan, your strategies, but there is an economic value here that you're hiding. You're keeping away from others. There's something that is brewing, you know, that and you're also going to be, this a Page of Wands. You will be the person. You will come out with that Page of Wands. You will be the one offering something. You're going to show. You're going to have something to show for your month of July at the end. I see that there's something that I would like to say it's a game changer. And if all goes well, your strategy will work. It will be a game changer. It will put you in a position that's far different from what you are used to, and far different from what you are in right now. And also, this passionate Petro card, Hunsis, I've got the Three of Cups and the Six of Wands. You know, it's as if rewarding accolade celebration that are coming about, however, before you actually bring out your toy, your plan, your strategy, because you can practically taste victory right now. You have, in the month of July, the ability in your mind to create a number of scenarios whereby you're going to guarantee yourself success. Okay, that's what it is, Aquarius. This is what I'm saying. Not only that, the Exist card, the Agranibo Congo, there's a 2 Congo card here. I have the Ace of Pentacles and the 5 of Wands. Now, this is telling me, first of all, that, yes, there's something here that adds to the value. It's as if you're, you know, what is coming in is that you have to surprise someone. You have to show someone that you're not what they think. You have to make good with someone for whatever reason, something that you've done to them in the past, or some kind of mistake that you have made, or some kind of wrong that you have done to them. And this is going to help you, this sense of spirituality, that sense of reverence for money, that sense of achievement in spiritual terms, by making the flow of money continue to flow, because money is a spiritual good. And if you want to know more about this, just talk to some spiritual cronies, I'm going to call them, that are in finance, in the world of finance. And this is well known. Right now, that's not without its difficulties, because you're going to be hard put to go back to that person and say, look, you know, I know what happened, but I do really want to show you that I didn't mean it, or that it was a phase that I wasn't responding in some way. I was out of it. You know, there's some way that you have to get around, and but what I see more than anything is the achievement, and it's through the achievement, because you'll be so happy, it will put you in a state of mind that you can then go forward and, you know, bend, and not bend, but acknowledge your errors in the past, because I think you're carrying a heavy burden. There are regrets here. Now, I'm going to take the Virasibila on each of these groups, leaving aside this, this focus card, which is harmony, because no matter what I'm seeing, there is harmony. It's as if the universe is helping you go through this period, because they know, that universe knows that you will make amends then, and so this is going to give you that added push to help you stand on your own 2 feet and ask for forgiveness, beg forgiveness, say I love you, please give me your trust because, things like that. But it's a difficult thing for you to do. I'm going to start with this entrance card, this grounded entrance card. So grounded to the point of having it be heavy. Okay, you come into the month. Watch this. Look, take a look at this and listen really well here. This is dispiacere, sadness, the lies, falsità, and la vecchia signora. You're coming into the month of July with this behind you. All of that action that you have done in the past, all of the dirty games, going behind someone's back, the lies, the cheating, the falsehoods, anything how you did someone wrong, and the sadness it has caused you, because as you were doing it was causing you sadness, is going to change for the better. The way these cards talk to me, when they really want to talk, is amazing. All right, now I'm talking here about I'm going over the cards that keep it to your vest. What I see here, of course, it is the Merchant, and I expected to see the Merchant, but the Merchant tied to the Doctor is what I didn't expect to see, but here it is. The Doctor represents a professional, and for all intents and purposes, I am seeing you as if I'm reading for a person who has a profession, has a job, has an activity, has a craft. And it is within that craft, even, the Doctor's card is telling me, even if it's a bit out of your range, but it is a craft, it is a position, there is a profession there that you're dealing with now. Maybe different from the past. It's on either side of this House card. For many of you, it has to do with some family business. It has to do with some kind of inherited family business. What I'm getting here is that regardless of the house as a symbol is figuring prominently to you, Aquarius, either because of the doings, the past doings that you committed, that you did. There's something there that revolves around a house that both you're working in. Okay, this is a business that involves the family business somehow, even an extended family business or a far away family business. But there's also the house here that symbolizes, and I'm going to leave that for the next 3 Sibillas here, because they mirror each other. And what I'm seeing here is the house is mirroring, with that spread, these 3 cards. Conversazione, conversation, the thief, ladro, and donna di servizio. As if the house is going to be payment for some reason. It will be something that you give in exchange, something that you offer, something that you know will be a merchandise that can be expected, not expected, accepted in some way. You're going to want, in the epitome of the month, in the epitome of the process of keeping things to your chest and celebrating, when you really start to taste that celebration towards the end of the month, even if it doesn't play out in July, you're going to want to talk about it. At the very least, think about it and make the offer materialize. And it initially starts as a process to make amends for the past, but you will make it work to your favor. Last going out cards, yes, there is an element of intimacy here. This is a card that oftentimes symbolizes engagements, and it's mirroring the first 3 that have come out. And for some reason, the falsehoods and the lies of the past that are changing are going to change into something that is being held under wraps, that you won't talk about openly, but you're planning to create a harmonious atmosphere, going through all of the motions that you're going through now. You're planning a big, big event, a big surprise. Let's put it that way, a big surprise. Let me take the runes now. Whoever that may be, they are in for a big, big, big surprise sooner or later. Aquarius. All right. Let's see what these runes are chatting about, because they're chit-chatting. Most of them are in the middle here. All right. Now, what I'm seeing that is that the person here that you have to make amends with is... I feel that you're away from home. Many of you are away from home. Obviously, 10,000, 11,000 people cannot be away from home. But I'm seeing that in time, it is a matter of moving back to your home, going away from your home. Almost as if that activity you're preparing is destined to be carried out afar, or that you will be reaping the benefits from a strategy, from a business that will be taking place in another country. And presently, you're not in a position to be seeing the rewards nor reaping the rewards, but you're very insightful, very, very insightful. And you know that you're giving birth to such an important phase of your life, an important strategy. I mean, that word keeps coming up, the strategy, because it is something concocted by you. It's a strategy that you're keeping close for a purpose that also includes a loved one or a past love, and to whom you have to, you have to make amends for things that how you acted with them. But there is no, when I say this business about traveling, this person is a person that you want to be near you. But for some reason they are not now. And you will make, I'm trying to see, it's hard for me to pick up the words, but it's almost as if you will be part of the strategy, there you go, part of the strategy is going to be concocted in this fashion. You're going to make it seem as if, by chance, all of your efforts and plans are going to be similar to their plans. And in that way, all of a sudden, poof, you're going to see them. I don't know, at the airport, you see them, you're going to cross their paths, but it has been all studied beforehand. And the importance of your insight is beyond imagination, because the way you are couching it, so embarrassed and so ashamed you are of something you've done in the past. This is what I'm getting. But it had to happen, it had to happen in order. It's as if the universe, the devil made me do it, okay? It's as if you can use that excuse. It's as if the universe put you in that situation to cause those difficulties between you, and to make it possible for you to make amends, giving a peace offering, and coming together, actually coming together, before you even speak about the past. It's very, very odd, the things that I'm seeing and how I'm trying to get it. This is the most difficult reading of all of the readings I've had. But what I'm seeing is definitely there's harmony there, and the harmony is couched in love. And it's not in words. The fewer the words, the better it is. I'm seeing with Anzus Merkste, and what it is, what the focus here is harmony and also insight, your vision, giving birth to a vision that you've had. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Aquarius friends. I do hope this was of help to you. Those of you in the United States, have a great 4th of July. Bye-bye, ladies and gentlemen. Aquarius, bye-bye.